Hey friends, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Oleg. This is one and only Mr. Bond. He's gonna be snoring in the background, so I do have to apologize in advance. But this is his couch, so I'm kind of in his territory. Unfortunately, I can't kick him out. In today's video, we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna build a watch together. Actually, more specifically, we're gonna put together a watch from already pre-made watch kit. This one was sent to us for free from DIY Watch Club. That's not going to affect the review in any way, just want to be transparent. Now, the way this video is going to work, because it is kind of a different video, I'm going to review this watch in 3 different parts. So number 1 would be the presentation and the quality of the overall kit. The second part would be how easy it is to put this kit together, how easy is it to build this watch, and how enjoyable it is to build this watch. And the third criteria would be the final product. How good is the final product? So let me show you what comes in this kit. I already did an unboxing video for this watch, or this kit. That video can be found on the Instagram page. But just quickly to go over it, it has pretty much everything that you would need. It comes with the case, the dial, the hands, the movement, all of that separate. It has all the little tools, screwdriver, tweezers. It comes with a strap. It has this little dust blower. Pretty much has everything that you would need to build your own watch. Now the thing is, they have this website where you're supposed to register your watch. Then you go on the website and it should give you a step-by-step video on how to put this watch together. Unfortunately, for some reason, it doesn't work on my computer. I tried it on the iPad, I tried it on my computer, and my security settings are wrong or something. I don't know. I tried with 3 different browsers. It doesn't work. I can't watch the step-by-step instructions video, which kind of sucks. At the same time, you know what? Who cares? We're still gonna wing it. We're gonna put this watch together, do the best of my ability. So I think this way it might even be a little bit more fun. So far my rating, the overall presentation of this kit, the overall quality seems pretty good. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. However, the step-by-step instructions video kind of sucks. Didn't work for me, so I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. I am a pretty savvy guy in terms of technology. I would imagine that a lot of other people have similar issues. If you purchase one of these kits, let me know if you had similar issue. They do have an email address where you can email them and they will give you some tips on how to resolve that issue. Kind of a hassle, a bit of a process. I decided not to go that route. I'm just gonna wing it. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully I don't ruin this watch. We'll see what happens. So let's get started with building this watch. So what I've done so far, I took everything out of their little boxes. I laid it all out on a table here, made it look all nice and pretty. Pretty much all the components were in these little boxes. That's where the case was, that's where the hands were, and so on and so on. So here's everything that comes in a box, plus we have the set of hands. The good thing about this kit is actually that they included 2 sets of hands for each hand. 2 seconds hands, 2 minutes hands, and 2 hours hands. Very, very smart idea, because installing hands is probably the most difficult part of putting this whole kit together. The second thing that is also included are the pins. And we also have this little sticky plaster, I guess you would call it, for installing the hands and also picking up little dust particles around the case and around the dial. The bezel came off, so you still have to glue the bezel together to the case. We're gonna do that at the end. So let's start assembling this watch together. The first thing we're gonna do is actually open this case back up. There's this case back opening tool. I should also mention that I washed my hands before doing all this stuff. It's just a good idea to do so. Take that out, also move it out of the way, put it onto this little piece of plastic here. I'm not good at watchmaking. I've never really done any of this before. I have a touch of a gorilla, so this is gonna be especially difficult for me. And again, I'm not following any step-by-step instructional video. Maybe a little bit too cocky of me, we'll see. But basically, the first thing I'm gonna do is install the dial onto the movement. I think that makes sense as the first step. Once you lined up the little feet of the dial with the little grooves within the movement, you just simply push them together, and there you go. The dial is now installed. All right, that wasn't so bad. Quite easy actually. So the second part would be to actually install the set of hands. Before I install the set of hands, I want to make sure that I know the absolute 12 o'clock position. We do have a temporary crown right now inserted in the movement, so I'm gonna pull it to the second position, and I'm gonna rotate it until the date snaps. All right, so we can start seeing the date window starting to rotate. We want to be very slow and careful here. Right there. That's the midnight point. I think this is the hardest part of this whole process, installing the set of hands. All right, so that's the minutes hand there. There we go. For the seconds hand installation, I recommend using this little loop. It definitely helps and makes you look like you know what the hell you're doing. With a lot of persistence and some luck, I was able to get the hands on. Now you can see they're ticking. Everything is good. I'll just test them out, make sure everything works okay before I move on to the next step. Pull it out to the second position, the ticking stops. Thank God. Thank God everything works. So step number 2 would be to prepare the case and then to drop the movement into this case. You can see it has this little ring here. The seconds ring. And this ring has little feet. But I'm not sure where to put this little feet. Probably goes on top of the dial somehow. Just gonna try to get any little debris that I got on the dial. The next step would be to actually house this movement within the case. Before we do that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wipe it with the microfiber cloth. Make sure there are no smudges on the inside of this crystal. By the way, the microfiber cloth was not included. Now, of course, this movement right now has a temporary crown in that we need to remove. Success. Now that we have the movement inside of the case, just get this rotor out of the way. Thank you, Bond. I'm gonna take the actual crown, not the temporary crown, and try to insert it. Perfect. Okay. Microfiber cloth. Wipe that. Perfect. Put the case back. All right, everything in the watch works. We're gonna screw the crown in place. It's going great. What I've done this far is I put the dial on, I put the set of hands on, I set the time, I housed the movement, I put the crown in, and I screwed the case back in place. It's nice and tight, the gasket is on. So far it's looking great. I guess the last couple of steps are the easy steps. Number 1 would be to glue this bezel insert in place. And number 2 would be to add the strap on. And that's it. We are almost done with our project. We want to line it up perfectly. We don't want people to think this is a Seiko. All right, that's starting to look like a pretty nice diver watch. Pretty nice bezel action. Absolutely no back play. Actually, never mind, there is slight back play. Okay, so the last step is to get the pins on, get our strap on, and we are good to go. We got the strap installed, has quick release pins. That was super easy to do. And there we have it. We have our ready diver watch that we made with our own hands, kind of. Alright, so we're done with this project. I say we, really one of us was working much harder than the other. Overall, a really fun experience. So let's actually sum up this video. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna rate this watch in 3 different categories. Number 1, the quality of the kit itself. Number 2, the fun level that you have while making this watch. And number 3, the final product. So the first part, I already gave it a rating, like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. The presentation of the kit is great. The quality feels pretty good. All the tools are included. All the tools feel pretty good quality. And it's nice to have all these tools after you're done making the watch. You can just use them for other watch projects, which is pretty cool. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't able to get step-by-step instructions for this watch. Kind of a negative, although I was able to figure it out pretty easily. And I guess a lot of you guys would be able to figure it out pretty easily yourself if the step-by-step instructions are not available. But I'm sure they're gonna fix that. They're gonna send me an email with all the instructions. At this point, it's kind of too late. The watch is already made. Now, how much fun I had making this watch? Quite a lot of fun, actually. This was pretty awesome. It's like a Lego set for a grown man. This would make a perfect gift. I don't necessarily know if I would buy it for myself, but if I got this as a gift, I would think it's a pretty great gift. You have a lot of fun making it, and then afterwards you have all the tools and you have the watch. Pretty awesome deal. Now the price of the kit is $300, which is not cheap. At the same time, I think it's somewhat reasonable for what you get. You get a couple of hours of fun putting this watch together. Actually, it took me like an hour to do it. But maybe for somebody who hasn't done this before, maybe it will take a couple of hours. As I said, I have a touch of a gorilla. Nevertheless, I was still able to put this watch together. No problem. I'm pretty confident that a lot of you guys would be able to do the same. I really like the fact that they include 2 sets of hands. So if you mess up, you have that second set of hands. That's pretty cool. They also include some extras like more of these finger condoms or whatever they're called. They have 2 sets of this tool, the hands removal tool, good attention to detail overall. Now let's talk about the final product. Is this a good watch? It's actually pretty good. I was expecting a worse product, if I'm being honest. I mean, it doesn't have a sapphire crystal, it's only a mineral crystal, but it has a loomed bezel insert. It has a nice lume on the dial. Although the lume on the bezel insert could be improved, the application is not that even. It is especially noticeable by the 10-minute mark. Definitely needs improvement. The finish on the case is alright. For $300, it's not the best finish, but it could be worse. It's just kind of okay, average finish. Sign crown at the 3 o'clock position. A pretty attractive set of hands. The overall design is fairly attractive. 41mm case diameter, so this one would fit for most wrists. I think it's 47 or 48mm from one lock to another. Again, fairly conservative size. The thickness is 13.7mm, which is kind of average for diver watches with Seiko NH35 movement. The movement itself, pretty good. That's what you would expect in a $300 diver watch. Again, the only kind of negative, I guess, with this watch is a lack of sapphire crystal. If it had sapphire crystal, would get a huge thumbs up. Other than that, the watch itself is pretty good. So is this worth the money? I'd say kind of. If you're looking for a cool project, if you're looking for a way to spend an afternoon and then have a product afterwards, this was pretty fun. I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, we release new videos every week. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this idea. In my opinion, that's a great idea. I can't believe other people haven't thought of it before. Of course, it makes sense. You put your watch together. You get the watch after, and you get a fun activity. But it's your time. Let me know what you think about this idea in the comment section below. By the way, today on my wrist, I'm wearing Yamaha GMT. I did a full review of this watch. That video can be found on the YouTube channel. I will also leave it linked in the description below. Also in the description below, there are a couple of other links. The first link is a secret link. Have a look if you're curious. The second link is a link to bondnatostraps.com. If you're looking for a great quality NATO strap and want to support this YouTube channel at the same time, buying one of these NATO straps is a great way to do so. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you guys next time.